And I didn't know that if the Kinect is plugged in while you're playing that game, it listens to you and the alien can hear you. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna commentate it live. It's the first time I'm doing it. I'm so shy. I'm like, hi, my name's Claire and I'm gonna be playing Alien Isolation. And then I see like something will happen in the game and I'm like, oh my gosh, and the alien hears me commentating. So
that
it just
so much.
hounds me the whole video.
Honestly.
And everyone in the comments is like, why did you leave your Kinect plugged in? And I'm screaming, the alien's just chasing me non-stop.
How's it going, guys? I'm Daz Black.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Ali.
I'm Clare Siobhán, and this is Creator to Creator.
All right, first question. How old were you when you played your very first video game?
Oh my gosh.
I was like 5. It was Sonic on the Mega Drive.
Wow.
It was like one of my first games, like Alex the Kid, you know, the free game that you got with it?
No,
and then I moved up to Tomb Raider in 1998.
Nice. That's sick.
Like 98, like you know the exact year.
Lara. Oh my God.
I don't know. People always like, I was 4, I was 5.
I was 5.
That's crazy. I don't think I remember.
I don't know based on age, I know like based on console. So I remember going to my friend's house and they had a Super Nintendo. I'm playing Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. And that, yeah, this is me showing my age, isn't it? Your jaw just dropped then.
Wow.
And then we got an N64, like the GoldenEye edition.
Oh, I love GoldenEye.
And like that was it for me and my brother. We were just obsessed like from that point onwards. And then we've always had a console since.
I'm the same. I remember blowing cartridges.
Yeah.
And then I remember locking the butler in the fridge in
Tomb Raider 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I remember watching my dad play Silent Hill on the PS1. But I've been playing The Sims since the year 2000. I've got to get that one in.
I've played Sims 1 as well, so like old school Simmers.
My family was so against us getting like consoles. All my gaming experiences were at friends' houses. But our uncle did have like a PlayStation 1. And as soon as we got to his house, it was like, bring out the PlayStation, bring out the PlayStation. I think it was Lara Croft as well.
Yeah.
I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing. You know that, like, didn't you start in like a mansion or something?
Yeah.
All we did was walk around that. I didn't know how to leave. So
The butler was really scary as well. And the assault course was really hard as well.
Yeah, that was it. I don't think I could do that part. There you go.
But then Pokemon on like had handheld game stores. So.
Oh yeah, that was my first console, was a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Gold.
What colour Game Boy?
My brother got a Pokemon exclusive yellow Pikachu one, which is actually really rare now, but I don't know where it's gone.
Did you ever have the see-through plastic ones?
Where you could see all the bits inside.
Oh, I think my friend did. I had that for the Game Boy Advance. It was like slightly see-through on those ones as well.
Well, they're supposed to be like harder as well. Like if you dropped them, they were like more sturdy or something.
Those things, like they'll survive to the end of times.
Yeah.
Like my Game Boy Color, like I got the purple one. I tried it still works to this day, and all the cartridges do as well.
Probably sell that for like a lot.
I would never sell it.
What channel on YouTube made you want to create your own? Are they still an inspiration today?
Oh,
With me, it was a guy
crazy.
called, I don't know if you've heard of him, called Brandon Hardesty.
Okay.
He was right at the beginning, one of the OGs. He was one of the first YouTubers to go on talk shows and stuff. And what he did was he did reenactments of movie scenes. And they were almost perfect, but they were done cheaply in his basement. And he went over to Vine, and I followed, and that's why I got onto Vine in the first place. And I was like, I have to do this. It was the first time I saw YouTube as not just like a news source for media and stuff. People were creating videos. I went, wow, like it's a platform. So
That's so cool.
Brandon Hardesty, if you're watching, thank you.
I weirdly a really similar bubble to you, but I didn't actually watch your channel as much. No offense, Baba. But I was watching Modern Warfare 2 stuff, and I remember C-Nanas and Hutch watching their channels loads and being like, I really wish I could do this. And setting up a camera to film my big long TV that I had at the time. My brother coming in and just laughing so hard at me. So I didn't do it for years after that, but they were the first channels that I watched where I'm like, anyone can do this if you just get the equipment.
I know back in the day, I think I made my YouTube channel 13, 14 years ago, which is half my age. It was a long time ago. And back then, the ability to capture you playing games didn't really exist. You'd have to get VCR recorders and rewire your console to go into it. It was really confusing. So if you went online and were typed in Call of Duty commentaries, you'd literally find 2 videos which had anybody talking over them playing the game. So I watched the only videos that existed, and I remember messaging them and being like, please can you make more of these videos, there aren't enough of them. Whereas now if you go online, there's millions of videos of games and people talking over them. So I was there right from the beginning. I was always just interested in like the technical aspect of capturing your own games, because I think when I was younger, and I'm sure for you guys as well, when you had like friends over, the best times was when like you had like a crazy finish in Mario Kart or something like that, and to be able to capture that moment and then put it online was the inspiration for being able to share those gaming moments with the rest of the world. So yeah.
Mine was probably I was wanting to get back into The Sims 2, and I YouTube like Sims 2 something, and it came up with Life Simmer with The Sims 3 Generations that's playing. I was like, it's a bit weird. Like I didn't understand like people playing games and like playing with the families and showing it online, and then I watched it and I was hooked, and I'm still hooked to this day. Like I always go back and watch it. So definitely Life Simmer.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Okay. What was your first YouTube video, and do you remember how you felt about it that day?
Oh my God.
This is a long time ago for you.
I know exactly which video. It's not on my channel anymore. So the first online games I played was Mario Strikers Charged Football on the Nintendo Wii. This was Nintendo's first ever online game in Europe at the time. And I took my laptop, which had a webcam, and placed the laptop in front of the screen. So I had to stand up and play to get an angle on the TV. And I was in a clan back in the day,
so cool.
Competitive Mario football. And yeah, I uploaded some highlights of me doing some trick shots. That is literally my first video. It's not public anymore, but that is it.
I think for me, because obviously I was on Vine, and they were like, make a gaming channel. And I had a PlayStation, that was it. My laptop, it just barely turned on at the time. And, you know, PlayStation 4s, they have that like 15-minute record feature.
Yeah.
So I just downloaded a demo of like Killzone Shadowfall, because I had no money to like get games. And it's still on there actually, if you go on there. And it's just me talking in my room. My iPhone was like, or iPod was the face cam. I had like the wire to talk into the mic. And I was just like narrating over my gameplay, and I had to like download it. And when I did a series like Outlast, I had to sort of download it to a Facebook page that I'd set up, and then download it from Facebook, and then re-upload it to YouTube. Yeah, it was just like on a calculator. So it was terrible quality. And I kept doing this until I got the money for a gaming PC together, which improved my editing. But it was Killzone Shadowfall for me.
That's awesome.
A demo.
Mine was Alien Isolation.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, it's not even that long ago, so my channel's not really that old. But Alien Isolation on Xbox, but I had my Kinect plugged in. And I didn't know that if the Kinect is plugged in while you're playing that game, it listens to you and the alien can hear you. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna commentate it live. It's the first time I'm doing it. I'm so shy. I'm like, hi, my name's Claire and I'm gonna be playing Alien Isolation. And then I see like something will happen in the game and I'm like, oh my gosh, and the alien hears me commentating. So
that
it just
so much.
haunts me the whole video.
Honestly.
And everyone in the comments is like, why did you leave your Kinect plugged in? And I'm screaming, the alien's just chasing me non-stop. And that's my first video, basically.
not know that.
Me having a technical
That's so unfair for everyone commentating that game, because you're talking all the time.
It's kind of good though, because it made it funny. And I think when I first started making videos, I made a lot of scary games. And my like panicked state is the reason people watch, because they liked that. So it was like straight in there with the panicky Claire.
That's cool.
Wow.
I can't even remember mine. I just know, like now I'm so unfiltered and I'm just so Middlesbrough, and like anything comes out my mouth and I don't stop it, I keep it in. But in the first video, I was just like, hello, welcome to my channel. I really hope you enjoy this. And then I just put music for the rest of it. And then in the end, I was like, okay, so please stick around for more. And it's such a stark contrast probably now that
So funny.
I don't even know.
Let's go for one of these. What does your day-to-day look like as a gamer creator? And do you get recognized often?
You do.
Yeah, definitely can't go out without somebody recognizing me, which is kind of crazy to think that I just started making videos like in my bedroom and now like millions of people watch, which is insane. But I think it depends what games I'm playing personally. If it's a competitive game, you can invest a lot of time just to be good at the game. And you need to reach that skill level before you can even create adequate content if kids want you to be really good at the game. So there's a lot of time investment off camera of me just playing and practicing for a competitive game like Fortnite. Yes, it's like a kid's game, but the kids are so good. I've got to play for like 4 hours a day just to keep up with them. But for me, I have like a big diary planner and I'm planning videos like weeks in advance and then working out which will slot in to which day and then going about, actively recording for that content. I'm lucky enough to get an editor, send it off to an editor. He edits it, put it up, and that's pretty much every day. We do take Sundays off now.
Yeah,
though.
we started taking them off recently. We didn't have them off before that. And we're trying now to have a little bit more of a work-life balance because it was just like wake up and then just record into like the early hours and it's not sustainable. You're just going to burn out if you do that. So we try now, if we get up, we take the dogs out first thing and like have a little bit of a chat about our plan for the day or like go to the gym and then work, have lunch together, work, have dinner together. Probably do a little bit more work, but we try at least have that evening meal and that dog walk that's like our little, okay, like just take a second out of the studio because you're in this like non-natural light room for the whole day and it's not like very healthy and it's not very normal. So I think you've got to have that like break to reality.
I feel so lazy after hearing you guys say your day. I literally, because I don't have to be good at games. They watch because I suck at them. So I don't have to practice or anything.
See, that's the smart. That's like
that's the way I should have done it.
I guess my channel's been built mainly upon horror games, which they just, because I love horror, but I'm terrified. So like, it's all reaction based. So my day, I just get up. And I might go back to bed, have a crumpet or something.
That's a good,
and then record for a few hours, edit. And,
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, and I don't have dogs, so I don't have anything to walk. Should probably walk myself more often. And it's just if I'm going away, that's the killer. Because, I hate making content unless it's fresh on the day. I always try and get up, create, because if I'm going away, like here at VidCon, I've got like a string of videos released, but I always feel like there's something about doing that makes me anxious because it's like I haven't put enough effort into it time. It feels like I've had to go back to back to back to back and I'm wearing the same thing. I can't even bother to change.
Yeah, people always recognize it like, you're wearing the same t-shirt 2 days in a row. I'm like, it's because I recorded two videos that day.
In the video, like, I'm at VidCon, this is why I don't have a washing machine.
Like, if you're not going to be there for a week, you still have to do the same number of videos, but in half the amount of time.
For that week and the week coming your way.
Yeah, that's why I'm sick. Whenever we do something, I always get sick because you just push yourself a little bit too hard.
I'm the same as you guys. I've had to start like really trying to maintain a work-life balance.
Yeah.
Because gaming YouTube's such a different world as well. Because there's pressure on you to constantly upload. Like if somebody uploaded 7 times a week, it wouldn't really be seen as excessive. So there's that pressure. So I've limited myself to 3 uploads a week and 3 streams a week now.
Nice.
But I'll still, like the days that I stream, I record as well because I'm already going to be dressed. So I'll wake up, see my mum, see my dog, and then I'll record for about an hour. But then it's the editing that kills us because then I'll be editing for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my tea and then I'll stream for a couple of hours and then you're on such a high after stream as well. I'm like, well, I can't go to sleep now. So then I go to bed at 1 o'clock and then
wake up, start the grind again.
Yeah.
I would like more time for streaming though. Like I do like Twitch. Like I don't have enough time really to do it, but when I do, I have great fun.
Do you prefer it to recording videos because you don't have to do the edit afterwards?
It's a different experience. It's a lot more draining than editing than recording because with recording, you can just be yourself and say whatever you want. And if you're like, I don't like that, you can just cut it out easy. But with streaming, you're very much like, why did I say that? And then you finish a stream, you're like, oh.
It's when they complain, because I'm trying my best to be good at whatever game I play. Because when I stream, I usually play things like PUBG and like more tactical things and like the new Call of Duty. And I'm trying my best to be. I'm not good as it is, but to read comments, and I find that difficult. Like, I usually play a game, take about 10 minutes to read through, and then play another game. But you just hear them like shouting at you and like doing caps and everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's the backseat gaming.
It's like I'm trying to get kill streak.
There's stuff you notice when you're watching somebody else play as well. Like, I know from playing Sims, people are like, how did you not notice? Like, there was a mailbox in your living room. But when you're playing and you're really focused on the story, you don't see it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's stuff that other people notice. But yeah, streaming sounds intense.
Okay. Did you ever think you would get to where you are today? And what was the journey to success like?
I got an Oliver hair.
Oh, sorry. Our animals come with us
They
wherever
are
we go.
always. Even when we're
I literally had to roll up all of my clothes and still get cat fur on my face. So.
when we went to Bali, like I pulled an Oliver hair out my eye on like day 7. I'm like, how are you here, Oliver?
Wow.
He's a cat. He's not like this person that lives in the house.
When I started watching content, it wasn't monetized, and it wasn't monetized for a long time as well. So there were creators making money on the YouTube platform, but gaming was a weird one because technically you're playing a game that is owned by the publishers. And that is still true to this day, but they just let you monetize it because it's such a good thing to have people playing their games. So back in the day, you couldn't monetize it. And then the very first network that came around that let you do it was Machinima. And this was like back in the day, and they'd give you a contract. Not a very good contract, bearing in mind, but we won't go into that. And you could make money off your videos. And then when I started seeing other people doing that, I was like, if they're making money playing games and uploading videos, I was like, damn, like I really need to give this a proper go. And that really motivated me. The fact that you could turn it into something that you could call your job. And yeah, obviously never thought I'd get to where I am today. For me, I always set small targets. So there may have been a channel with 1 million subscribers, but if I had 1,000, I would try and aim for the next channel that had maybe 2,000 and try and overtake them. And I'd just constantly try and overtake the next channel, almost like a bit of a race to beat everyone else. That was my competitive side coming out. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey, a long journey.
So I worked with YouTubers from an agency point of view before I did YouTube, and I started doing YouTube on the side while I was working at Xbox, and it kind of got to a point where I'm like, I need to just go all in or like just leave it because I can't do both for any longer. So I decided to go all in. But the reason I started doing it is I was working with influencers, working with YouTubers. It was mainly like a group of like lads, like you know most of them. And I kind of got to the point where like, I know how to edit videos because I've done it at my job. I know how to use Photoshop. The only thing I can't do is the stuff in front of the camera because I've never given it a go before. But I feel like I have the skill set to do this, so why am I not just giving it a go? Like, I know what they're able to do. I feel like I can do it as well. So I just gave it a go, and I'm glad I did. But I think the scariest thing about getting into it is yourself on camera, because like, all the rest of it you can kind of learn, like, and you're behind the scenes, but actually speaking to a camera and like having your own personality come across and like being like a upbeat like person that like YouTube likes, that's really hard to do. And that's like, I think the biggest hurdle for people getting into YouTube. But once you do it, the amount of confidence you gain from it and just the way you develop and like evolve across like your YouTube career, it's worth it just for the confidence that you get at the end of it. Like you said on your first channel, your first video, I was the exact same. Whereas now I think if you watch our videos, it's like us. So yeah.
And you can see it if you look back like 6 months ago, I can still look at them videos and be like, well, I've grew so much in that time, and it is definitely from YouTube, like you said.
My eyebrows grew so much in that time. If I like look back 6 months ago, I'm like, where are my eyebrows? I can't watch old videos.
I was working in construction actually, and I kind of had enough of like carrying roofing tiles 3 stories up in the rain. It wasn't good fun. And on the side, like I say, when I discovered YouTube, it was before Vine or anything like that, and I was just making ridiculous videos that I've deleted. Like I think I did a Sean Connery music video at one point.
That sounds amazing.
It's crazy, a lot of cotton wool. And I just did it for fun, you know. And then obviously Vine came along, and that's initially what blew me up, and I was doing sketches and stuff on there, and YouTube didn't come until about a year later. And Vine went away, and I didn't have any equipment. I was pretty much stuck with YouTube. I thought, right, well, I got to go in hard on this. And with the laptop and the internet connection I had and like lack of money, I would wake up at 6 a.m. because it would take a couple of attempts to like render a video, download it off Facebook, piece it together. And it would take hours. And I was doing 2 videos at a day at that point. Like most gamers were back then, it was always 2 uploads. Yeah. And I'd probably survive on like 4 hours of sleep a day for like a year using all this equipment. And when I finally, I think it was £800 my first gaming PC, and I played like The Forest and everything. And I rendered a video, and it took like 10 minutes, and I was like,
this is amazing.
I can go and have a nap. Like, I'm so tired. And it was a long process, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I'm glad I put everything into it.
I got a credit card for my first gaming PC, which I would not recommend. Don't do that. Yeah. But that's the only way I could get a PC that could actually edit. Because I was trying to do it on a really old laptop, and I was the same. It was like 8 hours, and I'm like, and it would always crash in the middle, so I just couldn't do it. So I'm like, gonna have to get a credit
The
card.
pain.
Which like I would never ever recommend to anybody, but it also kind of
I did it
works
through
out.
PayPal, I think, if I remember. I think it was this website you could build your own PC, like
Yeah,
Cyberpower, and I put one together, very, very basic. It could just about run things on like medium, but it was enough. It was enough.
It's what you needed.
Yeah, and I could like edit properly. Such a relief.
Yes. Okay, I guess my question. What is the most misunderstood thing about the gaming world?
Probably that we just sit there playing games all day. It's a great laugh, and then suddenly there's a video at the end of it. I think this relates to anything in life. It doesn't matter what you do, but if you are doing it as a job, it can be a sport, it can be, YouTube. When it is a job, it is very different to doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And yes, there's still a fun aspect to it, but you are approaching it and doing it in a very different way to if it was just a recreational thing in your spare time. So if you divided up the hours in a day, I think the actual time we'd spend playing games is probably one of the smallest chunks of all of the work we do.
That's the easy bit. The
Yeah,
recording.
that
Then you
is
don't
the-
see all the editing, and like I've released screenshots of like my edits, and
It takes
they're
so
like,
long.
wow,
Yours
Daz,
are
and they don't
intense
realize.
and-
I imagine, something like your videos, like Sims and stuff, they take like quite a while.
Yours are like very memey, so like
Yeah,
that's
I edit Sims videos like on a Fortnite channel.
Yeah.
Like it's very much like
Yeah.
sound effects and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Then that takes absolutely ages. But even like, I'm a Sims YouTuber, but being a Sims YouTuber has stunted my growth in playing The Sims because I spend so much time editing and not actually playing the game. That
Yeah.
like I don't know where things are in the game.
Yeah.
But Sims 3, I used to know like back of my hand. Sims 4, I'm like, how to do this.
There's stuff that I'm still finding in the game that I'm like, oh, I had no idea that was a thing just because I've never got around to the time
Yeah.
of doing it. Because you've got to be conscious about the amount of time you play for, because that's how big the file is. So like, I was playing Sims BitLife and I had the Sims recording and that was like 8 gig. My face cam was like 5 gig. And then I don't know how, but my BitLife mobile recording was 25 gig. So that is all files you then need to handbrake and like turn into a usable file that you edit with. That takes ages. In the meantime, you're getting screenshots for the thumbnail, and then you get to edit in. So the amount of time you actually play is like this tiny little bit at the front. But then also with Sims, you're constantly like looking online for like CC and like mods and like stuff that you can do that is going to make people keep watching your game rather than play it themselves, because you've got this gaming PC, so you want to take full advantage and add all this cool stuff to the game. But all of this stuff like does take time. And I think there's also like some like truth to the if you love something, don't always make it your job. It's like the opposite of if you love it and you do it as a job, you'll never work a day again. If anything, it can kind of drain that passion for you a little bit, so you've got to make sure you balance it. But it's definitely not, I never just sit down and play The Sims anymore for like 7 hours like I used to and just like have fun like as a family. It's like very much, I'm gonna record this for content, and I do still love it. Like we're still so lucky to do what we do, and I'd never ever like say, oh, our jobs are like so hard. Like it's an amazing job. But it is very different, I think, to the perception of what people think it is.
Well, it's like if you've been streaming, like if I've streamed COD for like 3 or 4 hours or something, and then I get a text from my friend Will, I was like, you want to play some COD? I'm like, oh my God. It sort of does eat into time. And some days, like, even though games are great, you just don't fancy playing a game. Like, really, but it's your job, you got to put another video out, like the grind doesn't end.
Yeah.
I think with The Sims as well, like with Fortnite, you can just jump in a match in Fortnite and then it can be over in 15 minutes. But with The Sims, to really get into it, you need to set aside like a good couple of hours.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you play 15 minutes and it's like,
I did a Sims series. I don't know what you mean. Like I did like, because it was my first time playing The Sims ever, and I made it very dramatic, like a little TV show.
That's literally what we do. That's our jobs.
Oh yeah, right. And
You've got to like add the drama.
Yeah, that's it. Like for like a good year or so, I did it, but it was finding things and stories to keep going and new things like to sort of like react to. Like that can be quite challenging as well with a game like that. Like say first person games, Fortnite, just jump in, shoot people, done.
It's the prep as well. I know you spend a lot of time thinking about the storylines, where you want these stories to go.
Yeah, and people get very attached to the characters. So like on Fortnite, the skins are cool and stuff, but there's no emotional attachment to them.
Yeah.
Or on The Sims, I've had characters die on The Sims. I've cried. People watching have cried, like, because we've been with these characters for like 2 years, and it is like quite emotional.
I even get like so many comments in my comment section about your characters. You played with the Villarreal family one time.
Yeah,
and
for
it
a
was
long
flooded
time.
With, oh my God, Clare's family.
Really? That's so funny. Are there any gender differences you've noticed within this world? As a female gamers, what challenges have you faced in this industry? That's quite a big question, really.
It is a heavy question.
I'd say it's definitely harder for girls within the sort of gaming community in some senses. We were talking about this yesterday a little bit, actually. I think the games that we play, Sims and Fortnite, are quite good. But some games like Overwatch, for example, can be very discriminating against females playing those kind of games. If you jump online, people are nasty towards you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask about streaming because I'm afraid to stream on Twitch because I'm a girl and I'm scared of what the comments will be on Twitch, and the whole environment kind of scares me for that reason. But you do stream on Twitch, right?
Yeah, I do stream on Twitch. If you get a community, like if you grow a community that know you, you don't really get much. But if you try and go into a different community, like say if you're going to go in Just Chatting, which is just a place where people go to talk, that's when you get like the really inappropriate, like, oh my God, you're just a titty streamer.
Yeah.
Or like, I've had one that's like, get your feet out and just like, get the fuck off me stream. but no, sometimes it's usually just the randomers, but if you've got good mods and stuff, that like, because my mods delete things before I even get the chance to see them, and then my nosy little self is like, click to see a message. Yeah. Because I want to know, but yeah.
It is definitely different. I think, like you said, we're really lucky in that I think The Sims is great because the community is very diverse, and that is the audience that watches are diverse as well. And that's really nice because you represent all walks of life on your channel, so you get all walks of life in the comments, and people tend to be very accepting in the most part and very positive, I'd say, in the most part. But I know when I was doing games other than The Sims when I first started, I definitely saw a little bit of it. And it is such a barrier, I think, for a girl, for a woman, if you want to turn on a camera and record yourself, that there is just this expectation that, well, you're going to have to deal with that, like everyone does, this is just the way it is. But like, it shouldn't be. Like, I get that people want to be negative and that men get that as well, and that, like, fair enough. But when it is very gendered, sexist and sexual kind of stuff that gets aimed at women, it's going to put off so many people, and people are like, well, there's just not as many female gamers on YouTube. But it's
also like
but
a
this
jealousy
is why.
thing as well, because you see a lot of like girls that stream and they are very beautiful. And do you think there's a lot of female haters as well, like that are jealous because they're pretty and successful, or do you think it just comes down to?
I think it is probably some of that as well. But I know when I first started, when my channel was growing, I had a lot of comments saying, well, it's unfair because Ali just edits all the videos for her. Ali tells her what to do and edits all the videos and makes all her thumbnails. But you never ever have.
You've always been.
I've edited one of your videos.
Yeah.
I've always done all the stuff off my own back, but there's just this expectation and the assumption, that it must be a man helping her because a woman wouldn't be able to do that. So it's
like the comments try and discredit you. Like, oh, well, you're only successful on Twitch because you're a titty streamer, which.
What is that like?
It's just like where say you're streaming on Twitch. Normally, like we would have the game full screen and us face cam, but some girl streamers flip it, so they're full screen with a low cut top, and the game's like a little portion in the top left. So
they accuse them of using their body to like get more views and stuff.
But then obviously, in the case of most people, it's just them playing games, and it's just they get put in that category as well, just because they're a girl on Twitch, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. But even like in real life, I've had it happen to me because my friend was telling someone that she worked with that I'd done Twitch, and she said like, oh, she's doing quite well, and he's like, yeah, but only because boys will like donate to her and stuff, and it's like, no, I've done well because I've worked off my own back, and like.
It's annoying. I'm sometimes as well quite shocked at if there are comments, like I'm the same, my YouTube comments are quite heavily moderated to protect people commenting, and also the stuff that you don't want to have to see as a creator, I guess. And I'm sometimes shocked at the comments that come from people, and the age of the people is so young, and it's so kind of sad. I'm like, where are these young boys like learning to say this stuff to girls? Like, where is that coming from? Because I don't know, it's a bit of a sad environment, but you can either say, well, I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to take a step back, or you can kind of persevere and try and be a really good role model for it, which I think is definitely something kind of more the path that we've both decided to take. And I wouldn't want it to put off women who want to go into this, but it is something you have to be aware of, and I think you have to have quite a strong mental barrier against that kind of stuff, and just...
I think it's everywhere. Like me as like... was much heavier like when I started, and like the fat jokes, most of them pretty funny. I'll give them credit, like they are quite creative with it. But I think there definitely is a stigma for female creators that males don't have to put up with. But I think as a creator as a whole, you're going to get bombarded no matter what you look like, what gender you are. And to be a creator, you just have to like take that on the chin, ignore it, block it, get good mods, which by the way, I need help with because they suck. My mods are terrible. They just bring their own drama into my stream and I don't know how to stop it. But I think as a whole, like you just have to, you develop a strong chin from being a creator and being online as much as we are. You will be picked apart. I like when Fortnite was blowing up, basically the more into YouTube and gaming I get, the less I eat and the less I do any physical activity. So I was so skinny and I was doing Fortnite dances and I was like a twig and everyone's just like taking the piss out of me. And it's like, once you see that same comment for the 100th time that day, it's like, whatever, but you can't take it too personally.
And that's why like talking to other creators is good, because you realise that everybody goes through the same stuff and you can all kind of laugh about it and like be a little bit more relaxed about it. And I think you kind of need to do that. You have to like kind of look to your own community and be more positive about it.
Yeah, because I used to really like beat myself up, because there's a difference between crack and just hate.
Yeah.
And I used to really beat myself up over hate comments that I used to get. But now all I do is just send them to my mates, and then my mates send the comments that they've got back to me, and we laugh about it now. And now I'm like, oh, I wonder if I've got any idea because I want to send them some. So now it's like, if I get a hate comment, I'm just like, ooh, instead of it being like, oh.
That's good. That's a funny way to turn it around.
So, what is your advice to anyone watching who feels they would want to start a gaming YouTube channel?
I think the most important part, like people seem to forget the you in YouTube, and I think money is a big like driver to why people start, and it's for the wrong reasons, because there's no guarantees. I think people see through it if you're not having fun or you're a bit false. Like they just pick up on it straight away. Just literally be yourself and play what makes you happy, and it shines through pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's true. Just because something is successful for one person doesn't mean you can necessarily be successful in that same area. So as you said, look at what you enjoy and what you have fun doing and what you think you'll be good at, and focus on that. And the number one thing I always say is like, have fun, because if you do something because it's big and maybe it does blow up, but you're not enjoying it, you're now stuck doing something that you actually don't like. What's the point in that? So yeah, make sure you enjoy what you're doing.
I think as well, it's a bit of a trap almost saying like, I want to become a YouTuber, because most people's paths don't wake up one day and like, okay, I'm going to become a YouTuber now. It's more, one, I would always have it as like a bit of a plan B and have something else that you're focusing on that will, if YouTube doesn't work out, it's like, oh, well, great, I've still got like a degree in biology or something, or like something else on the side. But also being a YouTuber is having a skill set that I don't think a lot of people appreciate. So it is being able to edit videos, it is being able to have a narrative, have a personality, be able to edit thumbnails, and be able to like understand the technological aspect of it.
It's a lot of self-taught as well, to be prepared to.
Marketing as well, social media marketing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like this bubble, and then if you can do all that stuff, then you can give the whole YouTube thing a go. So I think it's learning those skills first, rather than just being like, I need to just make a channel. It's more, well, if I make a channel, can I actually edit the videos to go on it? And what is my strategy for the channel and that kind of stuff? Which is much more boring than just saying I want to be a YouTuber, but that is the reality of the world,
I'd also say just have fun with it, because let's not lie, your first 100 videos are shite, and they're going to be shite, and there's no getting away from that. Like, the skill set, like you said, you got to have that skill set, but also the more you do it, the more you'll build it.
Yeah.
And you'll always find your own lane as well. Like, I started my Sims channel off doing stories, and like, that's just not me. I'm very fast paced now, and I'm very like chop, 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 chop. And I've found that like by just experimenting and having fun. And yeah, you'll find your own lane and your own way. Just, you've got to do what you want to do.
Well, that was really fun.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yeah.
It's good. I had fun today.
Hope you guys got something out of it as well. This has been awesome, and thank you for watching Creator to Creator.